And welcome back everybody. Today the trailer was released for the latest Warbond Masters of Ceremony, which showcases a new primary weapon, secondary, grenade, stratagem, and 2 armor sets. So let's dive into each one of them. In regards to the primary weapon, this looks exactly like the FG42 used during, I believe it was World War II, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. The FG42 had the feature to be full auto, which can kind of be shown in this clip by the Helldiver in the back left corner. He seems to be firing it really fast, like full auto type of fast, or even burst fire, which is pretty sick. It's going to be our first ever full auto marksman rifle. It's also going to be the second weapon we have that has a bayonet attached to it, just like the Constitution. So getting into melee fights with the Terminids and Illumina is going to be really fun with the whole squad. And lastly, it has a scope on it. I feel like it's safe to say it's going to have up to a 150 meter range zoom, just like the other rifles. So it should be pretty good against the bots, like landing headshots wise. Moving on to the secondary, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just a saber. I mean, it looks really cool. I think we can all agree on that. But unless this thing hits really fast or really hard or even staggers enemies, it's not going to stand out that much. I think it's just going to be like the axe we have, does decent damage, and instead of having a stun effect, it'll just knock people back. Again, really cool looking weapon. I just don't really see that much use for the saber. Exactly like the Constitution, fun to use here and there, but not something you can actually use to help get through a mission. The next thing we have is the G142 Pyrotech Grenade. This thing looks like the Helldivers version of a Beyblade combined with a bouncing Betty. The guy throws it on the ground and starts emitting sparks before flying into the air and exploding. Based on the sparks and the whole name of the grenade, Pyrotech in it, we're going to assume that this is going to light enemies on fire, and now we'll have a third incendiary type of grenade. They give no info on the damage and blast radius of the grenade or how many of these you get, so we're going to have to wait for the Warbond to come out to truly see and test what these can do. I personally have been waiting for a bouncing Betty type of grenade, so I'm really hoping these are good because I'd love to use them in a lot of missions. The next thing in the Warbond is the Spear Stratagem, and this one had me really concerned. If this thing has the same damage as all the other melee weapons while taking up not just a stratagem slot but a stratagem weapon slot, I don't see anyone using this other than for a challenge run or a cosplay type of run. The bright side on the spear, it does look like it has a lot more range than the stun lance, so we'll probably hit guys from farther away, and I'm also really hoping we can use this with the shield. The spear stratagem needs to do some serious damage, maybe heavy armor pen, or just something spectacular to justify the amount of utility this weapon's going to take up. Again, looks really cool, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use when it comes out, but I'd love for this to be something that could last longer than a week before everybody gets bored of using it, especially if it doesn't have any helpful use during missions. And finally, we have the armor sets. Looks like we're getting 2 armor sets in the Warbond, most likely a light and medium variation based on the size of them, and also it looks like a heavy variation in the Superstore separate from the Warbond. The trailer doesn't actually give any information on the armors other than what they look like, so we can't say if they'll have a new armor passive or not. Honestly, based on this trailer, this new Warbond seems very lackluster. Obviously, I'm going to be testing it out for myself. I'd highly recommend you guys wait for a content creator, not just myself, literally anyone that makes a lot of videos on Helldivers, to do a full review on this before buying it. Anyways, thanks for watching guys. Drop a like, subscribe, really helps out the channel, and hopefully I see you guys in the next one.